Hey everyone, it's your man Brandon Stubbs here, host of the podcast Punch to Face Radio. This week's show, we will be talking about the stacked fight card weekend we have on 3 different continents. But this video is actually in regards to one fighter in particular who's going to be featured here in this week's action, and that is one Deontay Wilder. Now, the reason why I want to do this video is not to criticize, not to hate, but just actually bring a level of skepticism in regards to Deontay Wilder's return. Now, the reason why I say skepticism is this. If there was any other fighter in boxing that was coming off of back-to-back stoppage losses, a very brutal fight that he had his last time out against Tyson Fury, we would be questioning a little bit about where they're at in regards to both physical and mental. We would be questioning what's actually left of them, both physical and mental. And I don't feel that that's happening across the board in regards to one Deontay Wilder. It's just not happening. Here during fight week, you're not really hearing those talks. You're not hearing those murmurs. You're hearing his fan base, and I hate to use the word fanboys, but some of the PBC fanboys not expressing any of these concerns. Like, this is not something that's being a topic of discussion in regards to a guy who's been knocked down 5 times his last 18 rounds. So that's a lot. That's actually, it may be more than that. I think I counted 5. I don't know. I'll go back and watch the video. But he went down a lot, okay? Last time we saw Deontay Wilder, he was being knocked out. He was face down, ass up against Tyson Fury. That's not to be disrespectful. It's just to be honest. Look at the video. Look at the photos. That's what happened. But we're not hearing enough about whether his punch resistance is gone, if his dimension, his style has been, I don't want to say cracked per se, but it's been able to be figured out. He has a very simple style, but it works for him because, again, he has the one punch KO power. He's been able to, when down in fights, score that big knockout and get the win. But now you have to wonder a little bit, and I'm wondering out loud and wondering here on this video is, can he still do it? You look at any other fighter who has been knocked out, beaten, roughed up, and let's admit that third fight between him and Tyson Fury was brutal for both parties, not just him. So it's not one-way traffic there. It was brutal for both guys, but more particularly for Deontay Wilder, given the fact he got knocked down more times, he lost, and just looked really roughed up after that fight. But we're not hearing enough discussion about him having anything left in the tank. We're hearing more about him being champion again. And I got to say, the fan base is a little bit delusional. Maybe they're just holding on to hope because he immediately is the best American heavyweight we have. We do have some heavyweights on the rise. You know, Jared Anderson's one that comes to mind that's probably the next guy up, but still a few years away from probably really being on the cusp of that. So Deontay Wilder's the one that they're holding on a lot of hope too. And with him still being amongst the top 5, top 3, whatever you want to put him at, he's in that, 3 through 5 range in regards to heavyweights right now. There's still hope for him becoming a world champion again. The pathway, though, isn't that easy. And that's something else that it feels it's kind of getting glossed over. It's almost like a foregone conclusion, if I can say the word, that he could beat a guy like Alexander Usyk because of his one-punch power and his size and what have you. It's just almost like it's an afterthought from some of the fans to hear them talk. But I don't think it's that easy. Tyson Fury, who still is active, I guess, as we record this, I don't know what the hell's up with him. He owns the WBC portion of the heavyweight crown. We already know how those fights ended here with Deontay Wilder. So for Wilder, that doesn't seem like a real legitimate pathway and somebody he could beat. Styles make fights, and he's lost to him 2 times in a row. Got outboxed the first time around. So it does feel a little bit delusional that you're not hearing enough talk about this kind of stuff in regards to Deontay Wilder here fight week. It's just almost like a foregone conclusion that he's going to defeat Robert Helenius. He's going to go into big, great things. Yes, I do think he's going to beat Robert Helenius here this weekend. I think they picked him for a reason as an opponent, meaning PBC and Deontay Wilder's camp. So I get it. I get it. This would be a great bounce back win for him, but I don't think this fight is not going to have its own challenges. And we're also going to be able to see a little bit if that punch resistance is actually there. And what I mean by that is this. He gets hit. How does he react? And we've seen this in boxing before. When a guy gets knocked out, especially when you see them getting knocked down a lot more in fights and more frequently, as time goes on and more fights progress, they get hit and hurt a lot more easier. Deontay Wilder may be to that point of his career, and no one wants to admit it. I mean, it's an ugly, harsh truth, but we'll see. But that's why we fight the fight. So tune in on pay-per-view on Saturday. Ew, that sounds so awful to say pay-per-view for this fight. And see if I'm right or see if I'm wrong. But nevertheless, it's my take on it. So delusional Deontay Wilder fans will say I'm a hater. I won't get any press criticism from BBC, which I don't get shit anyway. But hey, it is what it is. It's my take here on Deontay Wilder. So again, make sure you listen to the podcast as I'll give more of a breakdown on all this weekend's fights. Again, Punch the Face Radio. You can find it on all streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Audible, Amazon Podcast, shit, wherever. Just Google Punch the Face Radio. You'll find a streaming platform of your choice. Until next time, I appreciate you guys. Take care.